Welcome to the What's Good Tampa Show.
What's Good Tampa Show.
This is where we talk about all things Tampa Bay and beyond. Coming to you from the Gimmick in Ybor City, here's your hosts, Austin and Sean.
Today is a little bit different, obviously, because Sean is not there, so I replace him. So we're talking today about all Tampa-related things, like what is going down. And
Okay, well, how do you feel being in Sean's chair on this side of the camera?
First off, I feel a little bit weird with Sean's glasses, but I felt like I gotta...
You guys definitely look different.
Just a little bit.
So I'm excited to do this podcast together. I've done your podcast, and then this is kind of like you kind of being in front of the camera, where I'm going to interview you a little bit too. Ooh. Yeah, wow, things might get a little crazy. So how have you felt the podcast has been going so far? This is like episode, I guess, 32 now.
Yeah, officially 32.
Yeah.
Like, there's a couple lost ones in between. So I feel good, and also like I said, I have like good news.
Yeah, okay.
That I already shared with you.
Sure.
Potential things coming up.
Yeah, it's exciting. Yeah,
there's a lot of momentum coming, and I'm just like, it's getting better.
Yeah, it's a rocky ride dealing with us, though, huh? Isn't it?
I think we're like different people, you know?
Yeah, I think so. A lot of people don't know this because, we are the What's Good Tampa Show. You come over the bridge every day from, not every day, but every once a week from St. Pete, right?
Yeah, and then I'm like, I'm scheduling the time here. And then last minute,
Yeah, so, well, again, we do need to call Sean out for that, for not being here today. Twice now that he's done this. And, Sean, let me have a message directly to you, okay? We all schedule time out of our calendar to make sure that we are available every Tuesday. Now, I know when you have kids, that's always the easy excuse. But every single freaking week, the podcast is Tuesday. And yet you still make plans with other people during that time period. It's uncalled for. It pisses me off. And you've done it twice now. A third time, I'm burning this fucking place down.
Well, the G you already ruined, though.
Yeah, exactly. So, I'm just getting all my equipment out first. So, anyway, that pisses me off. So he needs to be called out for that. I hope you took that seriously. And fuck him. So
shots fired.
No, I love Sean, but I mean that's some bullshit. Now I got to do the show with you.
Now you're stuck. I would say.
No, it's gonna be fun. I'm excited. So anyway, my point being about you being on the other side of the bridge is, a lot of good places over there, and I've been spending a lot more time over there now too, because I work over there, as you know. So I'm over there now in St. Pete several times a week, and like I've come to realize how awesome it is when it comes to the food scene too. Like I typically stay over in Tampa most of the time, but really there's a lot of good restaurants right over there in that downtown St. Pete area. So what are some of the ones that you've been to that you enjoy? I can certainly tell you some of mine, but I want to hear from you.
So my favorites for pizza, I'm a pizza wings guy. So I like Oak and Stone, for example. They got some really good pizza.
Do they? Okay, because I always walk by there and I've never been there.
Yeah. Oh, we also went to, what was that place where we Deets. Was it Deets?
Oh, Dats?
Dats.
Oh, yeah, Dats.
That was like good stuff too, but it's a little bit heavy.
It's heavy. You got to be ready to eat a lot if you're going to Dats. But yeah, we've got one right over here in South Tampa too, and Dats is definitely a staple. Like, you got to try that if you've never been before. Yeah. But you need to go knowing you're going to be a tank when you leave there. Yeah. But all right, what else?
So another favorite is actually where I kind of sort of work as a part-time job on the weekend. Yeah. Hawkers.
So what is Hawker? Asian food?
Yeah, it's Asian fusion kind of sort.
Asian fusion, okay.
So it's a little bit of everything, but it's more like Asian street food, and they got some good noodles.
Really?
Yeah, with a slight hint of spice, and I dig spice.
Yes, me too. Okay.
That's why I also reached out to Florida, man.
So I've never been there. So it's downtown though, right? Or kind of ish.
It's on Central.
It's on Central. Okay. Yeah. And it's it's a sit down restaurant?
Yeah. Pretty
Okay.
much, it's a sit down. You can sit at.
It's not like a Chipotle where you like
No.
walk through and get shit.
No, it's a little bit more pricey, but it's actually really good. Like,
Okay.
there's a couple items where I'm like, this is a banger item. You should get this
Yeah.
because, like, you get some really good wings, Korean twice fried wings, and yeah, it's a banger.
I gotta go. So you work on the weekends. I'm gonna have to go in and stop in and see it. Everyone can stop in and see Fitze at Hawkers. Okay. Well, have you been to that place No Vacancy down there?
Yeah, actually, I had a gig on New Year's there, and
Oh,
I was like
okay.
doing like a cinematic ad kind of sort of.
I really want to go there because it looks cool. You made a face though, like no.
Well, it is good, and I really love the place,
Uh-huh.
but the food is like. It's special food. Like, it has pineapple in it. I'm a picky eater.
Yeah.
I like the heavy.
You like hot dogs.
Yeah. How do you know that?
The food's no good, but
No, it is good food, but I don't like it because
don't
it's
like
like too healthy.
okay.
So
So
they mix like pineapple into everything, or ananas and
yeah,
stuff like that.
Well, it seems like the more so their gimmick is like the drinks, right? Like tropical kind of drinks.
Yeah,
but I
the
love
vibe
that.
is good.
Yeah, I love that vibe, like the look of it. I've never been, like I said, but I love like how that kind of tropical tiki vibe thing going. So I like that. And when it comes to like downtown, I have like a new favorite brunch spot down there. And we went to lunch. We went to lunch there, but Stillwater down there. It's awesome. That place is really, really good. I've gone several times since being back, so that's one I definitely recommend if you've never been for like a brunch like on the weekend. Definitely check out Stillwater. That's a really good place.
Yeah, that was really good.
And then right next to it, or at least a few doors down, is Cassis, and I like to go there for lunch because they've got like great lunch specials. So like if you happen to be down there during lunchtime and like want a good deal on lunch, Cassis is really, really good. I get their grilled cheese. I know this sounds very childish to me, but they have a really good grilled cheese with like a tomato soup, combo for lunch, and it's delicious, dude.
Yeah.
So it's like the best grilled cheese I've ever had, almost.
Yeah, I hear you're like the connoisseur of mac and cheese. I hear it.
Mac and cheese too. I mean, anything cheese. I love cheese, dude.
Yeah.
But
Can't go wrong.
can't go wrong. But yeah, mac and cheese is definitely my deal. So anyways, yeah, those are two places I definitely recommend. But like I said, there's a lot of good places down there. There's a place called the Half Baked Potato. Have you seen that?
Yeah, but it didn't sound like too interesting. It sounds
No?
like potatoes. So I was like,
You can't.
you're like, I was not sure what to expect besides like fries. What I want to really do is like, I think it's called For Cheesy.
Okay.
We talked about
yes.
it,
Uh-huh.
and I'm like, they got like some really crazy food, but it's also heavy stuff again.
Yeah, I actually did. I had their food truck once before when they were at the Super Bowl experience at their food truck down here at Curtis Dixon Park.
Yeah.
It's on one of my videos. I have a video on YouTube called, I think it's called like the Super Bowl experience in Tampa or something, but I do a little food review of that. And I don't remember how positive it was or negative or whether, however it was what it was. I'm always pretty honest on those reviews. Yeah. So I definitely would like to go back because, I also don't think that was probably a fair shake, but there were so many people and it was just packed. And
yeah, you got to have like a thing maybe once, twice, 3 times to have a good opinion.
I agree. And that's why I'm like not big on doing reviews on like Uber Eats, because like it's not the same. Eating it at the restaurant is different than getting it on Uber Eats. Like when it sits in a car and
fresher.
Yeah, it's just fresher. Like your bread is all soggy by the time you get it on Uber, and half the time for me they leave it at the wrong house, and I'm having to go chase it down like a
what
maniac.
is with that story? Like, is that a meme?
It's a regular occurrence for me, unfortunately.
Okay.
Everyone says they just can't see the numbers on our sheet, which I'll agree they're not all that visible, but we clearly say like what color our house is and everything. And anyways, they just always leave it at somebody else's house. So I have to I can tell by the picture whose house it is. So I have to rush out and go get my food before the neighbors find it or something and throw it out. But
well, that's the real struggle, I guess. And I got lucky with that stuff. Like our house is easy to find. You see it from the street and never had that issue.
Where you don't obviously need to give your address, but like what general area do you live in? What's it called? Like the neighborhood?
What is it called? God, I forgot the name.
There's so many different.
It's like
names.
Oak, Central Oak, or something like that.
Okay.
So there's something like a neighborhood association. It's not an HOA or something like that, but it's like something like that.
Why did you choose when you moved here to go to St. Pete?
So for me, it was like really one of the big decisions. Beach or being downtown or being like in a big city. So Tampa was on the on the list, and we checked out a couple places, but everything that was affordable in Tampa basically was not really nice. It
Yeah.
was like really off the shot, really ghetto. And then when I moved here, there was like a big thing with a serial killer shooting people, you know. So I'm like, And then we found St. Pete, and I was like, work was there,
Yeah.
rent was affordable, and slipped into that.
Okay, but so basically the affordability at the time.
Yeah.
It was more affordable to live
Yeah.
over there
And
you.
nicer. Like I personally found it was nicer because it was like not as big city.
Yeah, sure. There's definitely more like parks and like it's more like activity based than like maybe Tampa. I say that, I mean Tampa has a lot too. We got Bayshore, Riverwalk, all good activity areas. But I will say there are a lot of cool things like in St. Pete when it comes if you want to be active.
So
if you're
on
moving to St.
that
Pete, be
note-
prepared to be active.
Yeah, on that note though, I'm very curious. You work downtown and on the beach.
I do.
Yeah, so how is it working on the beach?
So I like working on the beach. It's a cool vibe, cool atmosphere. I prefer to be downtown.
Huh.
Yeah, just because there's so much that's so walkable in downtown where the beach, like at least where I'm at, you've got golf, and there's a few things down there like Fochisi, and the Reef where we went to, and we had mac and cheese that day, or I did. There's just my point being there's just less. There's less on the beach as far as restaurants and things to do.
So you're more about places and things versus like being on the beach.
At this point in my life, I'd probably prefer to be in the city than the beach.
Yeah.
But I would love to be at the beach eventually. Like when I'm ready to slow down and just be quiet and whatever.
Slow down.
I'd like to retire on the beach for sure.
Yeah.
But at this point, but working on the beach or working over at the beach location versus downtown, I'd like to be downtown just because one, it's closer for me. I mean, and having to drive with that traffic, it's terrible. And just driving the traffic just from downtown St. Pete to St. Pete Beach, it's awful. Like it adds another whole 20 minutes to my ride.
Kinda. It's just like awkward where you're going, like I live like right in the middle, and I basically just have to like 10 minutes and I'm on the beach, or 10 minutes I'm in downtown. But your office kind of sort of is like go all the way up there and then left.
Yeah. So
it's like a little bit awkward.
Yeah. But it's a cool place. Check us out, Engel and Volker, 6805 Gulf Boulevard, if you're looking for real estate in St. Pete.
Gotta buy.
I mean, the market's crazy right now. It's hard to find anything. Because I've been over there a bunch of times before, but I hadn't really noticed that little kind of garden area before. It's really hidden over there. But once you find it, you're like, man, this is a spot that I just want to come back to like on a regular. So it's a very zen place. So if you guys don't know what we're talking about, we actually shot a video recently. It'll be up on my YouTube probably by the time this goes live. Doing a promotion for Florida Man Hot Sauce, and wanted to show you guys this cool little garden that we found over on the beach called over on Upham Beach. And so it was a lot of fun. What did you think? How did it go?
So I really liked it. The time for our picnic was like not perfect because you got to go early if you want to shoot in the bright Florida sun.
Yeah, sure.
So it was like 1 o'clock or something. And it's like it's like the hottest time to be on the beach. And
Sure. It is. And Fitz, this was a collaboration with the two of us because we've done a few videos together. But he actually shot this one. You'll hear me reference him in the video. And went out there, like at lunchtime when it was hot. I had like my long work pants on. It was like sweating up a storm. My hair was going crazy. I had to wear Fitz's hat.
The struggle is real.
It was a struggle. But no, it was fun though, for real. And I think it came out good. I was a little kind of just, I wouldn't say nervous. I was just like kind of like, how's this going to come out? Fitz like editing one of my videos. When you edit your own videos, you have your own style. You know what I mean? And so it's like, Fitz edited it like my style because it's going on my channel. How will this turn out? And I thought you did a great job. I actually really enjoyed the video.
Yeah, it's a little bit different. So I was like, it's windy on the beach, and I was worried about the audio because we had like our fair share of issues there. Because when we went,
typical,
it was way too loud with the wind, and the sun was blasting. I'm like, okay, this is less than optimal, but it turned out good. I think
it turned out great, and I think obviously, you were worried about the wind issue, but whatever you did in the post production. production. It's not bad. Yeah, you fixed it. I mean, so it's great. So we had a good time doing that, promoting Florida Man Hot Sauce. And YouTube is actually how you and I met, right?
Yeah.
How long ago was that?
Oh boy, I think we got our 3-year anniversary. Or 2 years. I don't know. Is it 2 years?
I don't know. We'd have to look back at that video we did on my channel with Trevor.
Yeah.
Where we did taking an awesome photo of Tampa, the Tampa skyline. We did a video about, if you have a nice camera or just your iPhone, doesn't matter. If you want to get a really cool picture of Tampa, we show you a really cool spot to do that in this video.
He knows some spots.
Yeah. Trevor definitely knows some spots, and Fitz is the one who helped us shoot that whole video. And so whenever that video came out, that was the first time we actually met, I believe, in person, right?
How did you feel about that? Like meeting up with a weird German stranger who goes by Fitzay?
I didn't mind. No, I mean, we had talked for a while online, or on Instagram.
Yeah.
And it's not the first time I had met people through Instagram at that point. It's kind of become a common, normal thing, So I wasn't too concerned about it. But it was kind of weird meeting two people at once, because meeting like Trevor at the same time, and then it's like I don't know how our dynamic was going to be. I didn't know how Trevor and my dynamic was going to be, and then I don't know how the dynamic between you two would be.
Yeah.
So it's but anyway, but I thought it was great. We all hit it off. I had a great time. Check out that video if you haven't. Yeah. And you've been hanging with Trevor several times since. I'm trying to make it a point to get with him too because I enjoy my time with him. But I know you just had him on your podcast, right?
Yeah.
And Trevor, by the way, we keep mentioning Trevor. Trevor is a local photographer. I think it's Trevor Creative.
Trevor Creative, and he actually did the voiceover, and I really dig the voiceover.
Oh, he did the voiceover for the commercial for the Florida Man Hot Sauce.
I was reaching out to a couple people, and he basically made the cut.
Awesome. Well, we'll throw his name up here on the screen. But so he did a podcast with you. If you guys didn't know, Fitz also has his own podcast. How do people hear that and see it? What do they want to? Well, what do you even do on there? I got to be honest. I haven't watched a ton of them.
Yeah. So first off, in the beginning, the production quality is on a budget. So it was on the budget.
Basically meaning that they suck.
Audio sucked, but I was like proof of concept. Do you like it? And it's like create before consume, and it's all about like creating this type of stuff because like on Instagram, I reached out to you because you do the same thing as I do, and like I have like some vlogs where I do like a review of amateur works, for example, and I did that like 4 years ago, and I did like a vertical vlog and stuff like that, and I'm just like I like creating stuff, so I surround myself with creators. Yeah.
So it's called consume before create?
Create before consume.
Create before consume.
Yeah.
Okay. And I like that. So that's all about, just getting it going, know. All right. So you can find that on your channel. So I guess you have other just creators, you said.
It's basically trying to figure out the business and like if you have some tips and tricks, and then sharing is caring. So you basically talk to somebody, you learn how they do stuff, and you maybe adapt or not,
Okay. So what would you say tell me something you've learned from this experience?
Being quiet,
listening.
Yeah, listening. It's one of my biggest issues. Like basically just to shut up and be like.
I'm sure Rachel has that problem with you too, huh? Your wife, Will you just shut up and listen to me? So you've learned that you need to listen more. In your first interviews, you just talk over everyone the whole time, pretty much. I think you kind of did that to me when I was there.
Yeah. And I felt bad about it because like after I was like, okay, now I have to cut the stories, Yeah. And when you cut the stories, you need like a nugget, a golden moment where you're like, just like, 30 seconds.
Yeah. But you keep interrupting every 10 seconds. Pop, 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 pop. Dude, like a machine, dude. Oh, wow. Well, today you're responsible for talking a lot because it's just me and I don't, Sean's not here. So you got to bounce off each other,
Yeah, but that is also like a thing for you where you said like that is one of your biggest weaknesses. You're worried about like letting the conversation slip.
Yes, you're right. I am.
So how do you feel with that with me?
I feel like we're doing pretty good. I feel we're flowing all right. And people in the comments tell us how Fitz and I are doing on our own. Yeah. I'm sure Sean will have a lot of shit to say. But we're doing our best. But I think that is definitely one of the biggest fears of mine. Still, one of the biggest challenges I think is having consistently things to talk about, on the show and come up with. And and the good thing that I really enjoy about you and Sean is that we have been consistent, and I think that's one of the hardest things at all, for anyone to do, is just be consistent at what you're doing. So we've got that going for us, which I think is fantastic. But I do still, since we're so consistent, I do worry about running out of things to say.
No, so personally, I think like it's kind of crazy what we accomplished, because like every 6th person has a podcast. So it's crazy. There's like audio podcasts. We actually have like the Level Up, we have the video going, we have all the other stuff going, and we have a very weird dynamic, because like I said, I'm a little bit different. You two are a little bit different, Sean is a little bit more, hey, let's say some crazy stuff, and you are like more PG, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's an interesting dynamic and keeps it more like fresh.
Yeah. Well, I will say, I should, that you made me just think of something. A big announcement is that now Spotify allows us to add our video podcast to the Spotify platform.
How?
So you just can't. I did it through Anchor. So,
so we achieved the level or something?
I don't know. I think this is just a new thing Spotify's doing, but because maybe you can watch like things like the Joe Rogan podcast on there now. Yeah. But now you can actually watch our podcast on Spotify as well.
Yeah. On that note, though, what should people do?
They should go to @What'sGoodTampa show or what'sgoodtampa.com to get involved with the show, and hit us up if you guys want to be sponsors. There's sponsors links on there. If you want to come on the show and be interviewed, if you got a good story, reach out to the show. We're always looking for cool local people to bring on.
Yeah. But what you forgot now? Got to rate the podcast.
That's right. Rate the podcast on Spotify. Please do that. That really helps.
Help us out,
Yeah, definitely will help
also,
us out.
like, I had an overlay on your video with the hot sauce review, We also have on Anchor, you can support the podcast with like $5 or less.
Nice.
So we get like the coffee machine that actually works.
We get some water, bottle of water. It'd be great.
Well, maybe a lemonade.
A lemonade. But anyway, So anyways, definitely please. And we appreciate everyone who's been watching the show so far. We always try to be consistent with us, bring you guys some cool content. Even when one of us can't be here, when they know they're supposed to be here, we still pull through, get a show done, So anyway, so that's good.
Yeah, so are there actually things what is your opinion? Because you asked me how I feel about the podcast, how you feel about the podcast.
Yeah, I love doing it. I have a lot of fun when we do it every week. So I look forward to it every week. I look forward to coming, hanging out with you guys. We're doing it. My problems are, again, just making sure we have stuff to always talk about. And two, the other problem is, and this is, we just don't promote it well. Like, we don't. Like, no. And we all have the same excuse of that we don't have the time, but like,
everybody's busy.
Everybody's busy. And like, but I know this from experience. If you want to get something off the ground, you have to be consistent about promoting it. Yeah. And like, we are consistent about doing it, but then we're not consistent about promoting it afterwards.
Yeah, technically the promoting, like if you have a podcast for every 6th person out there, you got to do those stories, those reels.
I know. I agree.
Those reels, for example, you can hit 18K on a main account.
Mm-hmm. I know. So so that's the thing. That's how I feel about it. I'm glad we're doing it. I have fun with it. I think we need to keep it on track, and keep staying consistent with it, and promote it better. But we're going to make it happen. I think we're gaining traction every week. It seems like we get a new exciting announcement, or someone else wants to get involved.
On that note, also, I think like you see that is like kind of important, also kind of not important, because like, the name is good of the podcast. So that's why I'm like, I signed up for this podcast and actually showing up and doing it. Most people don't do that. I did it because like the name is good. The name is about to stay. Whatever happens, people will hear the name and like, it sounds big and good.
Right.
So that alone is like the.
So you joined on because you like the name.
Yes, I saw the potential because of the name,
okay.
And that's also like one of the things where you're like succeeding with like Tampa's life.
Yeah.
It's like really easy to understand and to follow.
Right.
It's like that is like a big thing.
Yeah, I agree, and I think we all agree, Sean included. That we need to keep Tampa topics involved in the show and
Yeah.
do a better job at that too. And which is great because we started a lot off with that today.
Yeah.
But yeah, those have been the challenges for me. But overall, it's been an awesome experience.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. I think we also have some really unique experience when
Yeah.
we went to that boxing thing with Logan Paul or Jake Paul.
Yeah, Jake Paul. Yeah, but yeah, like we've met a lot of cool friends from the show already, and
Yeah.
had some cool opportunities, like going to the Jake Paul fight. We were invited to the MMA fight, and we're invited back on May 15th with Vigilant MMA to do their fight again.
Yeah.
We did the Gasparilla Music Festival.
So many cool
So
things.
yeah, so we're getting opportunities to do cool things, and that's exciting. you know?
Yeah, and it's not like even though that we have like now the 5,000 whatever, it's like we pulling in some serious numbers if we do the reels, so you don't even have to have a big account. You just have to do the reels, and they have to be good reels.
Yeah. There's some social media tips for you guys if you really want to, up your social media game. Fitz knows what he's talking about, and you gotta stick with those reels. I mean, reels.
You do it,
Yeah, no, I'm telling you, the last few reels I've done have been really blowing up, and I think it's just again keeping it relative to your audience and being consistent about it.
Yeah.
It's my following has been growing pretty rapidly lately. So again, thank you all. I'm really grateful for that. But it's been cool.
Yeah, on that note, you're like one of those influencers. You made me buy that one pizza. You did like a little ad or whatever it was. Where you, I forgot the pizza brand or what the restaurant already. But isn't that hip spot? And they have that one pepperoni pizza.
Forbici probably.
Oh yeah, and I'm just like, dang, this pizza looks good. I
Yeah.
want that.
No, I
Even
know.
went there, drove from St. Pete to
Wow,
there
for the pizza because of that video.
before the podcast.
You heard that, Forbici. Yeah, that's awesome. That's the power. I mean, people eat with their eyes first, right?
Yeah,
So,
and I'm like, that looked really good, and I'm like, I kind of want that.
so he's gonna get it, folks.
Yeah, I got it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll tell you one thing I learned about Tampa Bay I never really freaking knew before was that we actually have another football team. Did you know that? Outside the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
I did not.
I know you didn't because you don't like sports. We've already covered that. And I don't know where I've been, but I guess apparently after 4 decades, there is a spring football league called the USFL. And we had a football team there 4 decades ago. That's 40-something years ago.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and now they just have relaunched that team, and it is the Tampa Bay Bandits. And so I'm not even 100% sure like where they're going to be playing at, but from my understanding, it's a small league with only about, I don't know, it looks like maybe 8 to 10 teams or something in one division, so maybe 20 teams total. But anyways, it's a smaller kind of spring football league, and it's gotten a lot of traction. They said that their first game actually got more views than the NBA playoffs.
What?
And I'm like, wow, that's kind of crazy. And
How you do that even? Like,
I don't know, because it's like we're talking the NBA, like the mother of all basketball, and then you're talking about like a D-League football
probably
thing.
a million views or something. That's
so
crazy.
I thought that was pretty wild. But yeah, so I need to look more into this Tampa Bay Bandits, and if anyone's got more information on them, or Tampa Bay Bandits, if you happen to watch this, we'd love to come check you guys out, because I was completely shocked when I found out we had a football team, and I saw things popping up over the news about this football league, and I was like, man, there's a new league. It's getting a lot of attention on TV. And then this morning I heard him go, oh, the Tampa Bay Bandits defeated it. And I'm like, what? Tampa Bay? Like, we are a hot thing. I mean, if you remember the XFL, they tried to launch and then COVID hit, but we had a Tampa team then, the Tampa Bay Vipers. And it's like people are just dying to be in Tampa, teams and everything. I can't wait for us to get a basketball team. I think if Tampa could get an NBA team, that would be awesome. That's what I want.
Okay, on that note, I have like 2 questions.
Yeah.
So what is your favorite sport? And second, what do you think about the baseball season?
Well, my favorite sport I would like to watch is probably football. You know, I do enjoy watching basketball too. It's more fast paced, and I've really over the last 3 years like gotten into hockey. Like, so hockey is probably my favorite one to go to live. If you've never been, I know I've said this on here a bunch of times. If you've never been to a Tampa Bay Lightning game, it's so much fun. The energy is awesome. So that's my favorite to watch in person. Football's probably just like overall my favorite sport and like favorite to watch on TV. Baseball is my least favorite. So when you ask me about what I think about baseball season,
it's kind of big in St. Pete, you know.
Yeah, I know, and I feel bad saying that. I really just don't care about the baseball.
Like me.
I know. Well, I have a hard time with it, and I'm not. I know a lot of people love it, and I'm not knocking the Rays or anything. Just I have a hard time watching it.
Yeah, I watched one game, like a baseball game. That was my first game in Columbus, Ohio. I forgot already who played. But it's like slow, you know, there's like 10, 15 minutes in between, and there's like mini games going on because they have to fill the moment in between. I'm just like, what is that? I mean, it's a nice time to hang out, drink a beer, and family friendly, you know, no violence.
Did you go to a game live at the Trop? Yeah. What did you think of the Trop?
Not at the Trop, but like in Columbus, Ohio.
Oh, okay, got it. Have you ever been to the Trop though?
No, I wanted to go to. They have like every year on Christmas, like a light show.
Yeah, the light. Yeah, the
what is it?
It's not the Winter Village. It's
like
I did a whole thing on it. I talked about it in one of my videos.
Yeah, it's like perfect for photos and
it's like lights. So it's a whole light show thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and I wanted to go, but
Enchanted Christmas or something like that. It's called.
Oh yeah, Enchanted Christmas. You got it. Yeah, wanted to go, never been because like not a big sports guy, and that's probably the only thing that will get me in there. So it's like
it's not the nicest stadium, which is obviously why they've been talking about moving it forever. Yeah. It's old and outdated, and you know again they keep talking about potentially moving it to Ybor, which would be good for Ybor. You know, and I don't know how the people of St. Pete would feel about it, but
I think it would be a bad move moving it here because like the situation with like driving at like just like rush hour or when it's busy, it's already insane. Now you have to imagine like combining that with like a game.
And there's so many games. That's
you would
the other
like,
thing.
Oh my god, you would be late for everything and parking and all that stuff.
Right. There's so many games, so it's hard to like if you're a real baseball fan to go to that many games and deal with that type of traffic.
Yeah, the traffic is insane.
It's
already.
Insane. Yeah. So I don't really give a crap about baseball, unfortunately.
All of them have the same here. I mean.
Yeah. Well, what do you think? And not to go back to like St. Pete, but what do you think? Because I've been spending a lot of time down like at the pier too. Do you like the pier? What do you think of the pier?
So the pier is one of my favorites actually. Like if you want to do something in St. Pete and you don't want to spend a big buck, you know, like the pier is the way.
It got a lot of criticism. I felt at first from what I heard. Well, I mean, I don't know. I guess a mixed reaction. Like some people, and you never meet everybody's expectations, right? There's always going to be those people that say. But I love it. I mean, Pier Tiki up at the top is one of like my favorite places to like go get a drink. Yeah, it's a nice, cool spot. Beautiful views, of course, and it's really cool. So St. Pete Pier is, you know, I always recommend if you're down there too. That's like another place you got to check out.
Definitely, like I said, it's like one of my favorite places. Like it's really scenic. You can sit outside. There's a lot of events going on. Like if it's late at night, it's really nice hanging out there, having a beer. You know, you can drink in the park and stuff like that. It's really nice.
I was down there shooting a video the other day, and they told me that I couldn't be down there with my camera and shoot.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm like, oh, he's out there with the gimbal, doing the thing, you know,
dude.
Angle Volkers, and I'm just like,
dude, I was out there with the gimbal. We got told we had to
permits and stuff.
Yeah, basically like, you need to get that with the commission board or whatever. Like if you want to be filming. I'm like, well. So what if I just said I was taking pictures? Then it's not a problem.
It's too big of a camera. It's like, you know, you need a permit to film.
That camera's too big?
Yeah. Every camera, if it looks
No, because there was another guy with me, not with my exact camera, but like with a camera like yours and taking pictures. And he said, well, you can take pictures with those, but you can't do video.
Yeah, if you do a gimbal.
Then it has to go through the film commission, he said, or something.
Yeah. And that's like where Sean would say, freedom of speech. You should be allowed to do this and that. No, you don't, but... That's why.
No, I get it. And, you know, I told the guy was cool. I mean, he was just kind of like, hey, you know, you're really not. And I go, well, he's got like 2 lines. Well, you just let us finish. And he's like, look, I can't really stop you. And I'm like, well, if you can't stop me, then I'm just going to do it. I mean, why are you telling me then if you can't stop me?
You have to.
You know, but if well, that's what I said. I know you're just doing your job, but I'm going to finish what I'm doing real quick, you know. But anyway, so that was, that was fun. But St. Pete Pier, cool.
Yeah,
place.
so now he knows you too, you know.
I I know, right? He's gonna be looking.
Now you're kind of screwed.
Yeah, now I am definitely screwed.
Yeah, because like now he will think, oh, it's that guy who did stuff there. I know so many people who go there, you know, and just like trying to get like a photo shoot in, because there's a couple of scenic spots there by the stairs, for example.
Yeah.
They're actually using that spot commercially, and technically you need a permit for that.
I see.
So you know.
You know, speaking of scenic spots, I was scrolling through your YouTube the other day, and I came across one of your videos, and it was a Devil's Den video. And I know that one was older for you because I was kind of further down your your channel there. But I never been there, and I actually had a trip booked to go there a couple months back.
Gotta go.
Yeah, and we just didn't end up going. I can't remember what it was that happened, but anyway, how was that experience?
So first off, every time when I have like people who are visiting Florida, I'm like Wikiwachi, Devil's Den, all those.
Wow, it's that high up there for you.
Yeah, it's the number one thing to do. Like you haven't experienced.
Listen to that endorsement.
Yeah, if you haven't experienced like the Florida Springs, you have not seen Florida. Like that's for me a big one. Like
yeah, wow.
It's like that big.
You like to go to like the springs and snorkeling and stuff, right?
Yeah,
Didn't you tell me that one time?
Yeah,
like
so
diving. That's it.
Diving, snorkeling, and it's just like crystal clear water. You know, everybody goes to the beach and wants to swim, but it's like kind of murky sometimes. And
Well, so where do you do that around here? Devil's Den being one.
Yeah, Devil's Den, Ginny Springs, Wikiwachi, Crystal River, Rainbow River. There's so many rivers.
Yeah, those are the places to go do your snorkeling and diving.
Or camping. Like that's like a big one.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like it's actually worth going there.
Nice.
It's like 2-hour drive. You have like the time of your life, and I highly recommend it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Well, yeah, I've never been, and
Gotta go, dude.
Yeah, I want to go to Devil's Den. It looked really cool, and it has like a whole park surrounding it, and you can like camp out there.
But on that note, so you talked about my favorite video. What is your favorite video you did on your channel?
My favorite video on my channel that I've ever done.
Or never done, or what is just currently your favorite?
Yeah, that I've ever done. You're saying like my favorite?
Both.
No. I don't know, man. One of my favorites is my pizza review, like top Tampa pizza review once.
Okay.
I liked that one. That one was like planned out more. Also, the first episode of Finding Tampa's Best Tacos, where I go to Loli's Tacos. That was another one I really enjoyed.
Yeah, I hear Loli's a lot. Like
Loli's is really good.
Yeah,
it's one of the better taco places around here for sure. And then.
What I really like is like when you post on Instagram, you memes about the Jotaro or whatever it is. The
rock.
You come always like with the funny memes. I'm like, I gotta post more of that.
I know. I think you're right. I do need to get more into the meme game.
Yeah, the meme game is big.
Sometimes I feel like I've got good ones and then I just don't put them out there. Yeah. But I definitely I'm gonna work on that for you.
Yeah. Just have a couple more mimosas.
Yeah, but those are my favorite videos. You can check them out on Tampa Is Life or tampaislife.com or just search Tampa Life on YouTube. But I've got them all up there. I have them pretty much all on Instagram at this point too. And like I said, new video coming this week. Thank you, Fitz, for the help with that video, and Florida Man Hot Sauce for sponsoring it. Yeah. But really, really exciting stuff coming for not just Tampa's Life, not just for Fitz, not just for Vintage Gimmick, but also for the What's Good Tampa show. Yeah,
and a lot of things coming along. Everything is like moving.
They're very motivational. Thank you. Yeah.
I was like, where do I go with that?
Everything's all great.
I mean,
shenanigans.